Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for tuning back into the Griiimy Math channel. It's a little cold right now. It's February, just the start, but hey, you can still catch bass on the lake. We haven't been out. It's been cold. It snowed like 6 to 8 inches, I think, Thursday, Friday, a little bit on Saturday too. Frozen to ice. Great driving conditions for us, but we're back out here. We're ready, and we're going to talk to you guys about February fishing. So, Cram, what's the first tip for us?
Slow.
Very slow, very cold.
Everything.
It's tough out there, honestly. If you're not watching your graphs, you'll drive right over the fish. They're probably still out there, maybe even 45 feet deep. I mean, the thermocline hasn't had enough time to flip over. Bait fish are dead if they, or they grew up. Crawfish, they're still got a little bit of red on them, but they're starting to fade back into that brown color, so it's hard for the bass to target those. So they're just out chilling deep, looking for whatever they can find. Hopefully it's your lure. There's really not a whole lot from January that we're not going to apply to February. We're probably going to throw some jerk baits a little bit more, like we've always mentioned. Vision 110, my favorite jerk bait. I'm not really sure what the name of this color is, but it's lighter. It's got a little bit of purple shine on the bottom, a little something different. We like to throw the pearl whites. Cram has that clownfish out.
Yeah, definitely throwing this in more of a dirty water. That's we love throwing those in the more clear water.
Very sure.
But again, like we've said probably 1,000 times in the last 2 or 3 videos, it's got to be slow. Everything has to be slow. When I mean slow, you're moving slow, boat's moving slow, rod's moving slow, fish are moving slow. Everything is slow.
It's like 10 seconds between a jerk. You just got to let it sit there, let the bait do the work. Sometimes it's them just watching it. What is that? I don't know what that is. Moves, and then it's just an immediate reaction bite. So bass really aren't as aggressive in the winter as they are in the summer. They're just, the body's low. If they stay below that thermocline and have to come up to feed, that messes with them, so they really don't want to leave. So if you can target bass where they are, and that's deep in the early February month. Now, if we wait like 16 days, right, whenever that weather starts to warm up, we get closer to spawn, they're going to start pushing up. Those males will push up first. You might be able to stick a 4-pound male. That'd be dope for your bag. But really, late February, probably going to start wanting to target those big old fat girls, start getting their eggs. They're probably sitting about, what do you think, 20, 25 foot of water?
Yeah, depending on how obviously how the weather goes. You start seeing those 65-degree days earlier, they'll push up into the 10, 15, but they're really going to take their time at that 20 to 30 range and fatten up, get their eggs, and then they'll start moving.
Yeah, that water temp really has to get right to about 60 is probably where I want it to be for them to start really pushing up there, start getting the blood flowing again, really start feeding on stuff. You got to wait for the spawn or those little bait fish to come up, maybe some new crawfish to come in, something to change it up and just really warm up. And until that happens, you're going to be stuck throwing jerk baits, just ripping around real slow. You can switch it up Ned rig if it's slow. You get that thing deep if it's not windy and you can still feel it. My go-to, shaky heads, baby. I mean, they get down there. You can throw 3/8 ounce on there. You can throw a 1/4 ounce on there. If you need it, you can throw a 1/2 ounce on there. I mean, it's really up to you what you do. But whenever it's cold, slow fishing. But now we're going to talk about the spawn. And that's very, very exciting because that's when you're going to have the best chance to catch your PB. Those fat girls are ready. They're up. You're going to get cruising bass males protecting that bed. And you also get to see 8 to 10 pounders on your lake. You may not be able to catch them because they're stubborn or something like that. But you might be able to see those, and that's really exciting as an angler who's passionate about bass fishing, wants to target those big fish and win money fishing tournaments, boys. I mean, that's the end goal for us. Bassmaster Championship, baby. Something crazy like that. Far-fetched, but don't count me out. Griimy's determined. But favorite lure for me whenever they're on the beds in the spawn, I'm just going to go with the white. This one has a little bit of red in there, just something different. A little white jig. It's perfect. It's something different. It's not anything that's natural, but it's enough to the bass to see that, to make them upset and get that reaction bite like we talked about.
I definitely like that a little bit later into the later early spawn, I guess, if that's how you want to say it.
Yeah, just kind of, it starts and then like a week or two after.
Those shads still take a little bit of time to get their spawn going, get moving. You can always go PB&J, can't beat it. Anything with a bluegill pattern early, I've had success with.
Well, those bluegill, they're going to spawn before the bass.
Yeah, they're going
to be
early.
up there. They're going to be burrowing down, laying their eggs, and those bass are probably going to come in and just take that out, or they're going to go eat them all once they're already hatched.
Yeah, and there's 2 ways you can go about that too. Is one, you can have a real slow kind of digging through the bottom, bluegill with your jig, or even a jointed bluegill, whatever. Or you can really, if you can find those beds, target those early, because a lot of times those bluegill will go, and that's part of their food source is eating those bass eggs.
Very true.
Get them around that bed when they're when those fish are on there, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to be hitting that all the time. So you kind of go more passive, like it's making its own bed. You're just kind of slow, or you can get as aggressive as you want and really target those beds if you can find them. Again, that's still in the anywhere from 55 to 60 degree water, but you're not far from it.
Exactly. That's the thing, that you got to take everything with a grain of salt here. There's no set number when the bass are going to spawn every year. It's kind of once one dude goes up, I mean, they're all coming. It's not like people stay out later. Once it's happening, it's happening. You got to be on the water to catch them, boys. I mean, it's all about timing. It's all about watching your grass while you're out there. Even like we said in other videos, that 1 to 2 degree water temperature change is going to be like the biggest factor for you, because it may be 61 degrees on the south side of the lake, but if you go up to the very north side of the lake and it's 64, bass may be firing up there. They could be pushing in. They may be spawning. You never know. So that's really got to trial and error. I mean, you can't be a great angler if you're not out there on the water, putting in the hours, and really just diversifying your skills and what you're going to be doing.
Bad days teach you just as much as good days.
Exactly, very true. You know where they're not at. I mean, Cram and I, we've thrown jerkbaits for 7 hours in a row. We're both having forearm cramps, but guess what? We were catching bass, and that's all we could catch them.
Next day we went out, or the next time we went out, I guess we didn't have as much success, but we learned something from it. It was more sunny. There's more sun. We were on the same type of bank. The wind wasn't blowing on as much. It was way more calm. So just taking those little things, had we have maybe went to the other side of the lake, could have been totally different.
Exactly.
It's just something that you can learn from it every time you go out and get that much better. And hopefully get that much more fish in your boat.
It's honestly like so much more fun to catch fish. We all know that, but whenever you're out there and you're beating the bank and nothing's working for you, it's really going to test your skills as an angler if you're able to adapt, if you're able to diversify, if you're able to pick up a Rapala jig and wrap, because they're all just sitting in 35 foot of water right underneath you. You can see them on your graph, but they're not firing on anything else. Straight down to the bottom, straight up, and then 4 pounders coming up, 5 pounders. 10 minutes later, you got a full bag. I mean, that's the difference between winning a tournament, losing a tournament, just one fish on something different, something that they haven't seen. Being able to diversify what you're throwing is very crucial, especially in the spawn, because it's going to take some trial and error. White's not a natural color, boys. It's just not. Some days they'll be all over it and they'll love it, or they'll hate it really because they just want it out of there. But other days you have to switch up to natural colors. So being able to stay versatile on the water is a huge factor, especially during the spawn and early February when it's so cold. What, Colten?
We're making a video. You want to be in it? Put the phone down. Come here. Put the phone down. Come here. This is our master angler.
Yes, boat captain. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out.
Here, dude. Here, let's put this down. Yeah, sit right here. What you doing, buddy? You got any tips for the viewers?
Yeah.
How do we catch fish? Which one do you like?
I like this one.
You like that one?
The Ned rig,
That's
Goby
a
Ned
perfect
rig.
one.
Perfect, boys.
We love throwing that one, huh? Catches lots of fish. Yeah. What about this one? You like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spinner bait.
You like this one?
Oh yeah, I love this one. Especially, when are we gonna throw this, Colten? Are we gonna throw this early February or the spawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely then. Definitely, even maybe after the spawn. I don't know. It might be a little bit too early, but you can kind of beat them
This
around.
is my favorite.
That one's
his
your favorite.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It is a good one. It's a Ned rig, boys.
You throw that one, huh?
Yeah.
He'll catch more fish on that Ned rig than you will on any other bait.
You like this one?
I do like that one. PB&J jig. We talked about this one earlier. How many fish have you caught on this lure?
I know. Like that one.
You caught one like that? A smallmouth?
How big was it?
It was this big.
That's a
No
big fish.
way. That's a huge smallmouth, boy. It's like 8 pounder probably.
That's a big one.
What's this one?
What is this one? You don't throw this one, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, not very much. Yeah, it's kind of too big for your fishing reel. We like these for your fishing reel, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ned rig, it's a fish catcher.
This one.
I
Yeah.
do like this one. PB&J. Do you like these? These are my go-to. Have you ever thrown these?
Yeah.
You have? You
Yeah.
catch a lot of fish on these too?
Yeah.
I do too. This is probably my favorite lure, boys. That or the tube. I still will have those tied on at all
This is
times.
my favorite.
The
We
Gobi
know it's
Ned
good.
rig.
Good job.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
Well, boys, we appreciate you tuning into this video. We hope Colten, a surprise guest, was able to give you lots of insights. Maybe try out that Gobi Ned rig for him. He's not leading you astray. He's really not. I promise you, he's not.
You will catch fish.
Yeah.
Find those beds, you
Um,
will catch fish with that. I
I'm
promise.
gonna catch a big
Yeah, you're gonna catch a big one this year.
Big
aren't
old fish in the spawn.
I
Say,
can catch one, Amy.
yeah, you didn't catch one yet that big.
Yeah.
Tell him, say, stay tuned, it's coming. Say it's gonna happen.
It's not on our house.
What? What?
You're so silly. Hey, tell him, say, get out there and catch big fish
Yeah.
with that.
With that,
Yeah.
yeah.
How big are the fish gonna be if they use that?
Like this big.
Like that big. See that, boys? You can't argue with this big bass. I mean, come on, boys. You want to see it. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this gave you some insight, just reminding you to be versatile, stay diversified on the water, utilize your time, and really watch those grass, boys. Thanks for tuning in. February, the spawn, it's coming. Be ready for some banger videos. I'm trying to catch my PB. I don't know if you are, Colten.
Yeah, but
Yeah, with
With
the
that one.
Gobi
It's gonna
Ned
be
rig,
with
baby.
that
That's what we're doing. Thank you, boys, for tuning in. You made it this far. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. Griiimy Matt. Fading out, boys.